Welcome to the Play-Based Learning Podcast. I'm your host, Kristen R.B. Peterson, and maybe your new teacher bestie that is here to hype you up, maybe give you a motivating kick in the pants, and teach you all I know about play and childhood. I am here to help you challenge old and outdated practices and inspire you to create a truly developmentally appropriate early childhood environment that fosters creativity, curiosity, and joy in the children that you care for. Let's set the stage for a lifelong love of learning. Let's get going. Here we go. Oh, the cutest person is joining me for the podcast today. Her name is Jayda Rivera. I love her energy already. She's got me smiling ear to ear before we even started recording. And I can't wait to have this conversation because I get asked about the Reggio philosophy all the time. I don't know a lot about the Reggio philosophy. I've never studied it. I've never been to Reggio, Italy. I don't have a lot of experience with it. And people like always are questioning me. What about Reggio? What about Montessori? What about this? What about that? And so I'm glad you're here because, well, you can tell us a little bit about yourself and then we'll just get into it. We're just really going to learn some Reggio basics today.
Absolutely. First of all, like I said before, I'm totally fangirling right now. Just so everybody knows, I'm having a heart attack. I have ants in my pants, all of the things.
Oh my gosh, I love it.
My name is Jayda Rivera. I'm extremely excited to be here. I am in my second year of teaching, almost 3 years. But I'm in my second year of teaching right now. I'm currently getting my master's in early childhood education.
Amazing.
And right now I teach at a Reggio Emilia-inspired Playschool.
Oh my gosh.
Yep. And I also have my Instagram, Reggio Roots, and I'm gonna start doing things on there, all of the fun things. And I really look up to you. So I'm very excited to be here.
Oh, you're so sweet. Okay, tell me how you got started with Reggio, or did you just fall into it?
Oh, so I totally fell into it. It was something that happened totally accidentally. I wound up graduating high school online, 2020, baby.
Amazing.
And I was like, I need a job in education. And there was a beautiful school that just opened up around the corner from my house. And I was like, oh, how amazing. I applied there, I got the job. And when I went there, I was like, oh, this is not a regular school. And that is when my amazing directors, Danielle and Jessica, basically explained that we are Reggio Emilia-inspired. We're kind of taking on the aspects of nature and outdoors and the Reggio Emilia approach and all of the beautiful things that make early childhood what it is. We really just pull inspiration from all of those things and just make Bloom Learning Center, which is the school that I work at. We just make Bloom what it is, and it is absolutely amazing. So I just kind of fell into it.
Oh my goodness. Have you been to Reggio, Italy?
No, I wish. That is a goal. Oh my gosh, I wish so much.
Okay,
yeah.
If you ever find a study tour and you go on a study tour, tell me because I want to go.
Oh my God, I will. We'll be besties.
Okay, sounds good. Okay, so tell me, like, what are some of the basics that people need to know about the Reggio Emilia approach?
Absolutely. So the Reggio Emilia approach, like I said before, I think that because you're a play-based preschool teacher, like yourself, I think that when people hear Reggio Emilia, they think that it's such a different philosophy, but it really pulls from nature, it pulls from play, it pulls from all of those really natural aspects. And it's just an educational philosophy that's built on the image of the child, which is exactly what Montessori does. It's exactly what play-based learning does. It's all of the things. It's just made into its own category. It was created by Loris Malaguzzi. He was a teacher in Reggio Emilia, Italy, and he just believed that children were just active participators in their own learning. And if you read about it, it's really beautiful. But if there's one thing that I've really taken away from it, it's that it's not so far off from the basics of all of these different natural new philosophies that are coming about that we're seeing, which is like the Montessori and play-based learning.
They're all very child-led, like the basis, the foundation, that it's all central around the child, the whole child.
Exactly.
The child like leading their learning.
Absolutely. And one thing that I also take away from it is that Reggio Emilia explains a lot that children have 100 languages. And
Okay.
this just, it's beautiful because when you break that down, it just kind of means that children have multiple ways of expressing themselves and multiple ways of expressing their behaviors. And all of their behavior is just a form of communication.
Absolutely. Okay.
Right?
So the 100 languages of children, I've never like looked into that or read anything about that. So do they actually have 100? Does the Reggio Emilia approach like break down 100 of these different languages of children, or is it kind of just a saying?
It's just a saying.
Okay.
As far as I know, I've also never been to Reggio Emilia, Italy, so maybe there is 100 languages. But as far as I know, it's just a saying. And it's just something that is kind of a way to express that children have multiple ways of just expressing who they are, and it's
Yeah.
our job as educators to really understand and be able to connect with them so we can understand those behaviors and hone in on that and help them grow.
Yes. Okay. So one thing that I see a lot okay, so when somebody says Reggio Emilia, there's like the stereotypical things that come into my brain. So maybe help me break some of these down. So like when I hear Reggio Emilia, I think very natural. I think like baskets instead of plastic on the shelves to house toys. I think open-ended materials. I think about, and I don't even know if I'm going to say this word right, the atelier.
Yes.
Did I say it right?
You did.
I think about that. I think about and I think about people like putting all the different colors of colored pencils in different cups. So it's like you got the yellow one cup and the red cup of colored pencils and the purple cup. Is that a thing?
So I hear what you're saying is that the environment is very different. So a big thing in the Reggio Emilia approach and being inspired by Reggio Emilia is that the environment to educators, the way that we set our environment is very based on making the children feel like it is their second home.
Okay.
So school should feel like an extension of home.
Yes.
So baskets could be a way of
Mm.
expressing, not plastic baskets.
Yeah.
So bringing in the wicker baskets
Yeah.
and lots of rugs and lots of just homey things, plants.
Textiles, pillows,
Exactly.
cushions. Yeah.
Exactly. Making it just feel homey because a lot of the times in Reggio Emilia approach, they do say school should be an extension of home.
Mm.
So I think that's what you were trying to get at.
Yeah. Hmm.
Yes, and we also do take a lot on aspects of nature. So a lot of the times we have our lights off, we have alternative lighting on. All of the things, twinkle lights and
Yeah.
lamps
Yeah.
and all of the things. You interviewed Suzanne Cotton, who is
Yeah.
absolutely amazing on light play. We do light play a lot. It's very important to us. We use our projector in my school, in my
Yeah.
classroom a lot. Things like that. Yeah.
Amazing. Okay, tell me about the atelier. I can't
So,
say it.
so unlike uh true to that specific Reggio Emilia approach, we are a Reggio Emilia inspired school. So I can't necessarily speak on our atelier because we don't necessarily have one. It
Okay.
is just my classroom. And so we are just kind of taking inspiration from all of those philosophies and kind
Yeah.
of making it our own. We don't have an atelier, but I would love to have one. We do have other schools that are opening right now that are going to have ateliers, so that's exciting.
That is
um
exciting.
Very exciting. um but as far as my classroom, we don't have an atelier, but they are just a way of it's basically, do you understand how your living room is basically where you want to hang out and
Yeah.
where that connection and that aspect of family happens? That's an atelier for the classroom. So going in again
Okay.
about how it's an extension of home, that's basically an atelier, if that makes any
Okay.
sense.
It does make sense. I like that connection. That's
Thanks.
really cool. Well, in my home, our space where we kind of like hang, is a lot of times in the kitchen, like kitchen dining
Me too.
room. And that's where all of our like open-ended art supplies and things are in my home are like in the kitchen. Like right now
Interesting.
we have the whole entire table is covered with stickers because we started sticker journaling, my kids and I. So there's thousands of stickers on the table right now that I ordered
That's so
from
cute.
like Temu, and we sticker journal. So yeah, we have open-ended stuff in our kitchen. So that would kind of
Yeah.
maybe be like, because the atelier, I can't
You
say
got this. You're fine.
atelier,
Yeah.
atelier,
Atelier. That's how I say it,
atelier,
but I mean, who knows? Tomato,
atelier.
tomato.
The atelier is it more normally like an art space or not?
So again, because I don't have one, I can't
Yeah.
necessarily speak on them, but I do think that it's not necessarily a space for something specific. I think that it's just a space where you can come together and find that connection.
Okay.
So usually you'll find aspects where you can have group work and things of that nature so that we
So
can
like
find that connection.
basically your whole classroom is an atelier.
Yes,
Kind of.
technically.
I
Yeah,
mean,
sort of.
yeah, if it's a place where you're coming together, that's a extension of home where people are free to be themselves and explore and be curious.
Absolutely.
Maybe you
Yeah,
have one. That is your space.
right?
Yeah. Okay. Talk to me about like the parent or not the teacher-child relationship in a Reggio program. Is there anything that stand out about that?
So, say that one more time. You said teacher parent.
No, sorry, I meant teacher-child,
Okay.
teacher-student.
So you might have said the teacher's child. I just maybe
I don't
didn't hear.
know.
My memory is really horrible. So what I love is that majority of my day is spent with a notebook at my side. I am constantly taking notes. I'm constantly observing. So I do spend a lot of my time making those genuine connections with them,
Yeah.
not only making those genuine connections, but also observing their behaviors, observing all of the things. So I will say I do believe that my relationship with my students is very deep and
Yeah.
genuinely strong, just because of how deeply I'm observing them. And I think that that's really important, especially in Reggio Emilia, and also just in the aspect of I'm spending 5 days a week, 8 hours a day with these kids. I
Yeah.
should be able to, and I should have to know really to the core who they are. And I think
Yeah.
that that's really, really special that I get to have that time to observe them and make those connections with them. So
Absolutely.
our connection is very, very strong, and very open. And I think that what's so great about it is that they feel like they can truly express who they are
Yeah.
as little humans, even when they're angry or upset. There's never a time when they don't feel as though they can come to me, which I love,
Yeah.
because they're very expressive, is what I've noticed from
Okay.
our relationship.
Oh, neat. That's so
Yeah,
special.
yeah.
Can you tell me what a typical day looks like in your classroom?
Oh, I love that question. So I come in the morning,
Mhm.
and usually my kids are sitting down eating breakfast already. I come in a little bit later, and then we move right on to circle time, which I know you don't usually do circle time.
No, it's not that
But
I don't do circle time. It's just that I
oh,
do circle time or used to because I'm not in the
yes.
I'm not in the classroom anymore. But I don't do long circle times.
Yes.
And when there is circle time, because it was every day, it was like a group time.
Yeah.
It's a developmentally appropriate activities. So it's
Oh,
not
absolutely.
calendar time.
Oh,
We don't
yeah.
do calendar. But it's yeah, singing and dancing and stories and things like that. So
Yeah.
yes, I do a gathering time or did when I was in the classroom. Yeah. So anyway, okay, back to you.
So we will join for circle time, and that's just basically our time. Like basically, you just said it. Is basically just our time to gather and be
Yeah.
connected, and it's kind of just our time to catch up when we're not sitting down at the table, because that's also a time that we really connect.
Yes.
So we'll go and sit for circle time, and circle time looks different a lot.
Yeah.
I'd say almost every day. It usually looks different. Lately, I've been bringing out my ukulele, and I'm not very good at it, but they love it.
Yeah.
And what a beautiful way to connect with them through music.
Yes.
So I think that it's really important that they have that aspect of being able to connect through other outlets other than speaking, because it's not always our first choice when we're little kids,
Yeah.
using our words. So dancing, movement, all of the things during circle time. It lasts for no longer than 5 minutes, but that's if I can get them for about 5 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, and then we go right outside. We spend a lot of time outside. Now our time outside is spent a lot on gross motor movement. I will bring out on occasion a fine motor activity for them. If I see that it's sparking their interest, they can play with it. They can utilize it, whatever they like. Sometimes they use it in a completely opposite way.
Oh yeah.
I brought out droppers the other day for them. And they took the rubber part off of the droppers and put them on their fingers like
I
nails.
love that.
And they were like, look at me. And I was like, oh my gosh, I love it. So
Yes.
I will bring things out like that for them, and they will use it however they please,
Yeah.
which I love and always encourage. But a lot of our time is spent on gross motor play just because of how important it is for them and their bodies to get that movement in. And just lots of quality time.
Yeah.
And yeah, then we come in, we have lunch, all together at the table. We have two separate tables, but I've actually pushed them together so that
Yeah.
it's like one long table, like the Last Supper.
Oh, fun.
and, and they love it. They absolutely love it. I just noticed that they kind of again, from taking notes and observing them, they just kind of all want to be together. So I figured that was just a way of incorporating my notes into our everyday.
Absolutely.
So they kind of all just sit together in a big table, and we sit and we read stories, we tell stories, we laugh. Lots of connection happens when we're sitting
Yep.
at the tables eating. It's in moments when you least expect that connection happens the
Mhm.
most. So again, when we're eating, we're getting a lot of quality time in.
Yeah.
We're reading stories, we're telling stories, we're laughing. And then we take naps. We
Yep.
take nice long naps because everybody's so tired from all that gross motor movement. And then when we wake up, we go right back outside.
Oh my gosh, it's like almost perfectly aligns with how our day was at Butterfly Hill and how it still is there. Just
Yeah,
it's very much the same. Lots of
yeah,
outdoor play.
yeah,
But we had a big, and you said you come in a little later. We have a big chunk of time in the morning, from about 7 in the morning, 7:15 till usually 9:30. That's indoor, like play
yeah.
inside. Hmm.
Which on occasion we do, because I have kids that are coming in at around 7,
Yeah.
7:15, and I don't come in until 8:30. So
Yeah.
those kids are playing with the loose parts materials
Absolutely.
and a lot of thrifted materials.
Okay.
I go to the thrift store. I will pick up outfits. They love dramatic play.
Yeah.
It is their favorite thing in the entire world. So I'm really playing into that right now. I just got them a whole bunch of new clothes, baskets.
Fun.
Don't sleep on the thrift store. It's amazing.
I love the thrift store. I love
Oh
it for
my
my own
gosh.
house.
Yeah, I know, right?
Hmm.
So, yep. So I go to the thrift store a lot. They're playing with loose parts, open-ended materials, and all of the things, and they make whatever they please. And it's beautiful, and it's real and raw, and it's not cookie cutter, and it's magical.
Hmm. Hmm. Do you do craft projects in Reggio Emilia
No,
Approach? No.
no, process art.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm a huge process art girl.
yeah.
Hmm.
See, it's so funny because Reggio Emilia approach, play-based approach, it's all taking from the same philosophies, and that's what I really love about it is
Yeah.
when it's not we're not just a Reggio Emilia based preschool. It's taking aspects of play-based and nature-based and all of the things. So that's what I love about it, because it's flexible and it works for the children. I think that as educators, we really only have the children's interests at heart.
Yeah.
And so when you really take that time to observe them and make sure that you're making those connections with them, you can base your environment, your curriculum, your classroom, all of the things based on them. and help them grow and thrive.
Absolutely. Okay, so tell me a little bit about, okay, and I hate this term, behavior management, classroom management. I don't like those terms. I prefer to use like social and emotional learning.
Yeah.
What is the Reggio philosophy around social and emotional learning?
So I think that it varies based on educators. I think that it varies based on that specific person.
Mm-hmm.
I can only speak for myself when I say that I think that giving them ways to express themselves is what I deem appropriate for my students in my classroom.
Mm-hmm.
So if I just posted something the other day, if they feel like they need to smash something and destroy something, there's things that you can give them to do that. There's ways, like again, there's 100 languages of the child. You just have to find ways that they can express themselves. Sometimes there's unsafe ways, but there's also loopholes. You can find ways that they can safely destroy things. You can find ways that they can safely push things or safely hit things.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that I do my best to give all of my students a proper outlet um, and express themselves how they please.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay. So you came right out of college to right into that program.
yeah.
How was the transition? Because, well, maybe you could tell me a little bit about your college experience, just because I know that like there's a squirrel crawling up my bird feeder right now. And I'm like really hoping he's going to slide down like a fireman. So, oh, he got it. Darn. I wanted to see the squirrel go and fall down. Anyway, so my college experience was like, I didn't learn anything about play or, I mean, we kind of dabbled in like different approaches and things like that. And I think I had to do a project and listen to, you pick like a philosophy and you do a project on it. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't even know what mine was. But like, I didn't learn about play and how important it is and went right
absolutely.
into like a traditional program, and that's what I
Yeah.
knew. How was it going from like what was your college experience, and then how was that transition into this more like child-led philosophy?
So again, I'm still in college, so it's not over yet. I wish it was, but
Yeah.
um, but I mean, it's pretty much sounds exactly like yours. I mean, we dabble in other philosophies, but that's pretty much it's very surface level. It's very traditional, and I will say that a lot of it now that I'm in school currently is technology based.
Mm.
Um, and it's incorporating things not play aspect at all. It's just it incorporates a lot of technology, the use of technology for teachers, for students,
Oh,
the environment, all of it, which is not really my alley. So
yeah.
yeah,
Oh boy.
yeah. So it's definitely not what it should be, but I think that the more you know, the better you can do. Um,
Absolutely.
so I think it was important for me to be in college and learn that that's what they want to teach me, but this is like that's great. Thank you for teaching me that, but this is what I'm going to do.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So
Uh-huh.
I think that if there's one thing that college has taught me, it's that thank you for my degree, but I will be teaching myself. Thank you.
Uh-huh. Oh my goodness,
Um,
it's so
I
funny.
think I think a lot of educators are self-taught when it comes to these philosophies.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I think that I wish it was something that wasn't the case, but I think that it just is the way it is as of right now. And it's unfortunate, but I think that it's special to be able to have and find schools that have these philosophies because not every school does.
No,
And
not at all.
yeah, and I think that it makes it all the more magical because it makes it so special. It's like, oh, I found that
Mhm.
one and it's so cute. Like, I'm gonna
Yeah.
do that.
Yes. I feel like too, I don't know where I was going to go with that. I was going to say something about college and what we learn in college. And oh, this is what I was going to say is that I think that a lot of people who find the child led play based Reggio influence approaches, it's play for them. Like we teach others about this now because
Yeah.
like we are so passionate about it, and we sought out that education, that extra whatever we needed to learn more about child-led learning, to learn more about the Reggio Emilia approach, to learn more about play, to learn more about why children need to be outdoors in nature. Like that was play for a lot of us who are now play-based educators.
Yeah.
And I think that has a lot to do with it, because when you're in college, like it's like here's what we're going to teach you, and you don't even like, you're just like even though you're going to school for that thing and you have like somewhat of a interest in it, I
Yeah.
feel like you're still so mm, uh,
It's just not the real world. It's just
yeah,
when it comes down to it, it's like you can sit here and teach me at a desk for however long you want. It's not the real world.
yeah,
Um, which I think what it really comes down to is just that hands-on learning
yes,
is really just the best way
yeah.
for humans, not
Because
just children.
a lot of educators don't really find play or child-led learning until after college. They don't,
Yeah.
I mean, none of us really probably do a lot of practicums or anything like that in play-based
Yeah.
programs. So you don't really have exposure to it until later when you
Yeah.
are teaching and you maybe stumble across something about play and you're like, "Oh, let me read more about that. Let me learn more
Yeah.
about that." And then it becomes like it's like you're leading your own learning, and
Yeah.
therefore it's play. And so I think a lot of people who are play-based educators are so passionate about it because it's play for them to learn about
I
it.
I think it's so funny because I, I'm still in college. And when I went to this school that I'm currently at, Bloom Learning Center, I didn't know anything about the Reggio Emilia approach. I didn't know anything about play-based learning. And it just all sort of clicked the first month that I was there. I was like, oh, this is different. I want to do everything I can to learn about this place. And I think that if, as an educator, if it clicks, it clicks. If it doesn't, it doesn't.
Doesn't, yeah.
Yeah. And so I think that, like you said, we just do everything in our power as educators to just learn everything about it. And I think that it's not even that we like do it because we have to. It's just as soon as it clicks for you, it's like, oh my gosh, this is the way. Like, this
Yeah.
is the right way. Like, there is no other approach to learning. It is through this. Like, that is
Yeah.
how they learn. So I think that that's why it's so also self-guided, because it's just once it clicks, it
It
clicks.
clicks and you're all
Yeah,
in. It's drinking the
yeah,
Kool-Aid.
literally. It's so funny.
Oh my goodness. Okay. Um, let's end with your top 5 play experiences in the classroom. Like top 5,
Ooh,
let's say top 5 either sensory or art, maybe materials
okay.
or experiences.
Okay, so we love water play. It's something that we absolutely love. Don't sleep on dirt and grass.
Okay.
That's number 2.
Okay.
Outdoor natural materials. Wood, we love painting on wood. We love experiencing the texture of wood. We love being barefoot.
Yes.
Yes, it's our favorite, even though we're not necessarily allowed at my school, but it's our
Same.
favorite. We are shoes off classroom, so when we're inside, we are shoes off. But we are definitely experiencing all of the things while barefoot.
Yeah.
And also light play is one of
Ooh.
our favorite things to play with, which is not necessarily slept on, but just not necessarily acknowledged or known
Yeah.
as much about. People don't really play with light play as much as they should.
No, they just kind of put the light panel out, put some
Oh
translucent
yeah.
things on it, and that's called
Oh
a
yeah.
day. That's the light play.
Yeah.
But I love learning more about light play and seeing some
Yeah.
of the interesting things that can be done with light in early childhood. It's
Yeah.
so fun.
I mean, from lamps to projectors to
Yeah.
overhead projectors that just flash lights and then you put magnet tiles on it, to disco balls, all of it.
Yeah.
Flashlights. We've
Fun.
got the whole mirrors. That's a great one.
Yeah.
Yeah, all of the things. I mean,
I have
everything
these.
is a learning experience.
Yeah. I'm like infatuated right now with ice cubes that are water activated, like light
What?
up ice cubes for
Oh my
drinks.
gosh.
And
I
you
know,
just,
I've been seeing them. I want to get them.
yeah, like I got them on Amazon, and you just put them, if you just like drop the little ice cube in the water, it lights up. It's
That's
so cool.
amazing.
It's
I
so,
get a lot of my ideas from you, I will say.
oh, that's so
Mhm.
cute. Oh, thanks. Aw. Okay, it was so fun meeting you, Jayda. Thank you so much for your experience, sharing your experiences, sharing about your classroom. We need more young people like you who are making
Thank you.
change in the early childhood education industry. So I appreciate you and the work that you're doing. Thank you for being here.
Thank you so much. I don't know if you can tell how much I'm blushing, but I'm totally fangirling and I love you so much. And I
Oh,
think
you're
you're
so
amazing.
sweet. Oh, thank you. If you liked what you heard today, share this podcast with your coworkers, admin, or maybe even your partner. And I love getting 5-star reviews so more people can embrace play. Hit follow or subscribe so you never miss an episode. Or connect with me on Instagram or my website, KristenRBPeterson.com. Until next time.